So more on influencers, unfortunately. So Grouped is the platform for online coaches to build their coaching business. And I'm actually going to introduce you guys to an influencer here so you have a better understanding. So this is Jimmy. You can see here Jimmy has 100,000 followers on Instagram, and he's a fitness coach. So while he is an influencer, he's also an online coach. And the goal for Jimmy is to bring his followers and ultimately sell them on his coaching business. Now, the problem Jimmy's facing is right now he needs multiple softwares to efficiently run this coaching business, and it's driving him crazy. He needs a software to upload his training plans, and then when they buy the training plan, he needs to say, hey guys, if you want to interact in our community or upload progress pictures, I need you to join another app for a community. And then if he wants to sell them any products, like maybe a protein powder or an energy drink that goes well with the course, he says, I need you to go to this brand's website, or you can come over to my website if he owns a product, and you can buy the product there. So all of this causes a lot of clutter, and it increases the software costs Jimmy has to pay. It causes his customers to be extremely confused and frustrated, and it makes him lose money because it's just all over the place. So right now, the current options for Jimmy to run this coaching business, they don't fully encompass what he needs. Some of them have one, some of them have two, but none of them have everything Jimmy needs, which is the ability to host his community, to monetize, and to upload his programming. So on Grouped, online coaches can host their entire business in one platform seamlessly and really simplify their lives. So that means they can host their communities, they can seamlessly sell products, both their own products and products that they're affiliated with. They can upload their custom plans, and this is going to make, one, the life of their customers a lot easier because it's all going to be in one spot, and it's going to give the online coach an opportunity to make more money because they won't lose people sort of in that confusing drop-off phase. So right now, the market for this is really big. There's a lot of online creators on the internet, about 50 million. Some sources would tell you 200 million. Of that, there are 2 million creators who make a full-time income from their coaching business. Out of that 2 million, 300,000 are in the health and wellness space, and that's our target market. And we learned that target market because we launched our MVP a few weeks ago, and the early adopters who acquired it were all these online coaches. And they actually loved what we were building so much, even though it was just a bare bones version of the product, that they recommended it to their friends. So their friends then signed up, and what they love more than what we have right now is the vision, because we're talking to them every day, learning what we should build, and that's kind of where we're going. So from their feedback, we've kind of learned that we're going to just focus and narrow in on this health and wellness market, and we're going to build out scheduling features for them. We're going to build out that shop feature, and then we're going to launch a mobile app so it's easily consumable for the customer. And this mobile app is going to feel like white labeled, so it's going to feel like the online coach's own app that their customers are in. So our go-to-market strategy is really focusing on the early adopters of our platform. Since these people are running their business on Grouped, we want to make sure that these people crush it and really bring their 5 to 6 figure a month businesses on the platform so that we can then leverage their case studies and testimonials to show other potential customers and recruit more coaches, drive our customer acquisition costs down, and then we'll invest in paid advertising and SEO and potentially expand niches, although health and wellness is a billion-dollar bucket in its own right, so I'd rather just kind of dominate that space. And as you can see, our average customer is going to be worth a lot of money to us throughout a year, so it's just a great business model. This is what they pay to use the platform. There's no upfront cost or barrier to entry, which is a big problem a lot of their other options have. Some of them are $400 a month, and some of them take 20% of their sales. So what we do is they don't have to pay anything until they start seeing success. So it's tiered based on how many people are in their group, and then we take a commission of sales, which will decrease as they're pushing more and more volume, because if someone's driving tons of sales, they're not going to want us taking 5%. So we're raising $600,000 on a safe note with a $3 million valuation cap to do this, and that's going to help us finish our product development and also learn those systems that we need to put in place to drive down that customer acquisition cost and eventually hit profitability. So the team that's doing this, there's more to it than just this, but Vineet, I'll start with him. He's our CTO, and he's worked for a similar software. He actually built it that does over 7 figures a year in revenue, so he's able to bring, and they bootstrap that, so he's able to really bring that experience to us and show us kind of the systems we need to put in place to acquire customers, and also what kind of software can handle the scale. Then we have Claire. Claire's an influencer in her own right. She's actually an online coach. She's sitting right there. She has over 200,000 followers across social media, and she basically is our boots on the ground, like, hey, this is what I need. And half of the reason we actually built Group was because she wanted to launch her coaching business, but there wasn't an optimal platform for her to do so. So that's kind of half the reason, having her in my ear about that. She's also my fiance. The other half of the reason is my background, which is in e-commerce. I actually worked hand in hand with these online coaches. I worked for a startup, and I'd give these online coaches the product, and they would recommend it to their audience. And I drove over $1 million in online sales by using them as influencers. So that kind of showed me the weight that these coaches can pull just from their influence. And it also is where I identified that, wow, the system is really broken for these coaches to run their coaching businesses. So that is Grouped. You can actually check out our community on app.group.com/grouped. Go.
Oh, good job. Good use of the time. You hit, who you are, with the possible exception of, do you have any sort of industry luminaries, investor types, besides the three of you, that are moving forward with this business?
Yeah, so we've just raised from friends and family. We just onboarded a sales guy, and the funny story about him is we actually onboarded him we got him on because, like me, his girlfriend is an influencer with over 200,000 followers across social networks, and we got her on the platform through cold outreach, and she signed up, and then he kind of manages her. So he kind of got involved and was like, what's this? Because she was telling how big of a problem it solved for her, and I got to talking to him, and a couple months later, he's really good at sales. He's done over $1 million for a SaaS company. I'm not so good at the cold outreach stuff. So he was like, I want in, and that's kind of how we recruited him. Investor-wise, I'm from New York, so some upstate New York small angel investors in a pre-seed round, but nothing more than $5,000 to $10,000 in checks. So okay. It's primarily bootstrap. Most of it I funded myself, yeah.
Okay.
You said you were narrowing in on health and wellness. What's the potential size of that market? Because really, I feel like it could be everybody, but then you also kind of said people running their 5- and 6-figure businesses. So yeah, that I imagine it's smaller.
So we're focused on people who have, we're saying a $3,500 benchmark. After 3 months, they can basically have a $3,500 a month online coaching business. So through my background, I know how to identify these people based on the size of their following, if they sell their own products. So there is a level of quality that we go after. We're not going after any influencer. On the slide I showed, that 2 million out of the 50 million in the creator economy, those are people who make a full-time income from being an influencer. So those are the type of people that we're going after, and 300,000 of those people are in the health and wellness space.
In your current test group, how many of those were paid, or are those all for users?
When we launched, we had no monetization features. So that's what we're launching on November 15th, is our payment feature. So we have 9 communities launching on November 15th, and we had 10 adopt the platform before, over the past few weeks.
And you tested, or at least asked them the questions on those pricing with the commission structure?
Yes.
Nice. Well, I'll just say, definitely it's a problem I've heard from people who run business coaching businesses. There's no place for them to easily plug into. So I think you've got an interesting build out for sure.
Yeah, there's other niches of online coaches too. There's the life coach, the business coach. Like I said, the early adopters are what made us focus on health and wellness. It's also kind of what I'm very passionate about. My background just as a person, I like to run Spartan races and stuff. So that's kind of why we're niche down on that. But there's definitely no reason why other people won't adopt the platform. We're just focused on the health and wellness space.
What are some examples of you mentioned the product, it's like, I guess I was thinking like exercise programs and things like that, but is it like nutritional supplements, just...
Yeah. So
like online sessions where you're listening to like their workout schedule or?
Exactly. So you can use an online fitness coach as an example. So say you want a personal trainer. And this is another big thing about the market is everyone knows they need to bring their business online nowadays. So even just your normal personal trainer at a local gym, they know they need an online presence because it makes them scale, right? They can get, instead of a 10-person group pass, they can have 100 people in their online group. So we give them all the features they need. You know, if they want to do a live workout, they can do it on groups. If they want to write out your schedule, you know, on Monday I want you to do a chest workout. On Tuesday, go for a run. And by the way, before you run, I want you to drink this energy drink, and you as a customer can buy it in the same group. So there's no, and for the coach, obviously, that drop off is what kind of costs them to lose a lot of money because it'd be, you know, attention is very important in e-commerce. So that's why we built that. And that is the most highly requested thing we're building from these coaches is the ability to integrate both their affiliated products. So a lot of people, they have sponsorships from brands and they get a commission based off what they sell. So they can integrate them in the group and then they'll have their own products, like maybe their own supplement line or merchandise, stuff like that.
All right, we got a few more minutes for questions for the panel, from the audience.
Yeah.
Right back ahead.
How hard is it to cobble together what you built with Zapier?
What was that?
How hard would it be just to cobble together what you built with Zapier? I mean, you've got the program that exists, no APIs.
Yeah, you mean to integrate?
You just automate it yourself without having to buy your service.
Hard, I think. You mean for an online coach? They would have to automate a lot of things. So they would have to, yeah, they'd upload their program through Playbook and they'd still have to do all the legwork saying, you know, you guys have to join my community here, even if it's a couple clicks, it's all over the place. So we're bringing that all in one space so they don't have to do all that automation stuff and their customers don't need to be in a community over here and looking at the program here and buying the products down here. Yeah.
So I work for a company that's going to start doing similar things, but in like the chef space.
Cool.
We're working on something similar. And an issue that we're finding is that onboarding chefs is difficult because they have created all of these systems in place to deal with all of these problems on their own.
Yeah.
And they don't want to have to redo it.
Yeah.
So a lot of our onboarding is actually having to redo all of that stuff for them. How are you handling that? Are you basically doing the same thing, or how's the onboarding process?
That's a good question. So a lot of fitness coaches run on a quarterly program or a monthly program or a yearly program basis. So a lot of them are kind of launching new versions of their program, just, you know, say Q4 is ending, so they're kind of launching with us Q1. We offer sort of a $500 service where we can build out their landing page because there's a bit of a sales funnel that comes into play. So there's different things they can offer in the group, and there's different payment tiers they can set. So they can give one offer that may be $199 a month, one offer that may be $999 a month, whatever. So we help them, if they want, build out a funnel where we'll consult them on, hey, here's your sales video, here, you know, put your customer testimonials here, and this is where you'll kind of drive that sale. So we hold their hands if they want. A lot of them are smart on their own, but if they want, we can hold their hands to make sure they see success. And other platforms don't give them that. And it is a big pain point for them. So a lot of them are willing to be like, oh, darn, I have to tell my people to get off the Facebook group and off this Playbook app to get here, because it's been driving them crazy for a long time anyway. So it's kind of like that last thing they need to do to put it all in one spot.
You got about one more?
Okay, wait, one more. Go ahead.
As someone who does online coaching, I know that there's a lot of interest in Kajabi, which
Yeah.
I don't use, but I know that a lot of people like it. So have you looked at platforms like that? I think one thing I like about yours is you can do more e-commerce and it's hard to plug in that. So
That answers the question. I think a lot of people, Kajabi is a great platform. It's very cohort course-based. That isn't exactly like our target customer. That long video course kind of module style isn't exactly who we're going for. It's not the people who will love our platform. Our people are more like, you know, program-based, monthly stuff, quarterly stuff, and people who will use e-commerce as part of their strategy. Because these online coaches have a lot of streams of income. It's not just their online course. So we're trying to service all of that in one community or group, as we're calling it.
All right, thank you.
Cool.